Two, one. What's up, everyone? This is episode 58 of the Master of One podcast. Um, so it's been 5 months since the last podcast episode, and I basically spent the last 4 months in New York, so definitely a lot to cover. So the last Wolf Chess tournament was WCC6 at the Sandbox Studio. So I think I already covered the move order of why that kind of went the wrong way. But let me talk about the real killer first. The real killer. And it's a killer, but it could have been the creators. The way I think about it was the Thursday tournaments. Like all my life, all my Georgia life, I've tried to make weekly tournaments a thing. Because if you can do weekly tournaments, that actually sets up everything. Like if you can get weekly tournaments going, everything is like you can literally, that's enough by itself. Because the idea is if you have a weekly tournament, let's say, and then you have trophies for prizes or you have no prizes, you can essentially make, let's just say it's an okay tournament. You can make like $700 a week off of just running tournament. If you can do that, that's already enough for a living. So everything after that is a huge bonus. Now, if that isn't already good enough, if you do the weekly tournament, you have marketing for your other tournaments. So when you run a big tournament, these guys will help market. Ooh, there's a tactic there. And you also have marketing for lessons. You also have somewhere your students can always play. So weekly tournaments, like if you can get that going, you were set for life. Which is why like I've always wanted to try to do it. Like I've always been like, if I can do it, that would be amazing. We're set, blah blah blah. And I guess unfortunately, it's very hard to do. Um, and the kind of the big problem that has always been in the past was location. Like we had a tough location. And we did it in East Atlanta. We did it in Sandy Springs. Finally got a really, really good location at a hotel in Alpharetta, but then we didn't get the people. And the idea, like the location was so good. I, I really think Fridays is like 18 times better than Thursdays. Fridays is a cheat code because school is really important for kids, and I don't know, for like me, for me and like three other people, I think James and Brad, they're like, yo, Thursdays are great. Fridays I gotta spend with my family, or Fridays I'm traveling, I have work. Like if we could do Thursdays every week, that would be it, man. Like that's all I need. Um, so the Thursdays really were a bummer because basically. And I sacrificed so much because I would have to drive from Alpharetta. So I would drive like 2 hours. Oh no, no, no. Okay, yes, actually Thursday when I was doing it at teaching at the school, I only had to drive like an hour. And then I have to drive back like an hour. So I would drive an hour to the Thursday tournament and then we would do bad. So I would lose like $100 to $300. You drive 2 hours to lose $300. It's like the most depressing thing you can do. So that really like took away a lot of momentum from what was going on. Um, yeah, I mean, driving 2 hours to lose $300, like it's gonna break your will a little bit, you know. And then on top of that, like my car, I mean, I'll never forget this, and I do want to actually describe exactly what happened because it was totally unfair. My car basically, I'm not gonna say exploded because it wouldn't explode, but and this one, I've always had problems with this car. This car has cursed me for sure for my life. But okay, so this is what happened. I'm coming back from the gym. It's like 2 p.m. in the afternoon. 2 p.m. in the afternoon, coming from a gym, 5 minutes away from my place, and there's a detour on the road. So I have to take like a small turn into a small road, and then a turn to small road, and then okay, so I take the detour. Now I have to take a left turn on a two-way road, a small road, so it's kind of busy. So I'm looking at both ways to make sure that I can take this left turn. And as I'm taking the left turn, I hear a huge bump and like another bump, and then it gets. So basically, this detour takes you to take this left turn, and there's a median waiting for you, and it's like an island median. So there's a gap in the middle. So the problem with this is when your car goes on it, your car gets stuck, and half of it is on the ground, the other half is on top of the median. I don't know if you can picture in your head, but it's like a very small island median. Um, and this is where they tell you to take the left turn. This is where the GPS tells you to take a left turn. So you're just assuming, okay, this is gonna be fine. Why would I have to also, like, basically you're supposed to take this left turn and go around the median. So instead of going straight, you go straight and then you loop and then you take the left turn around this median. So they're basically setting you up and putting you in a spot where you're gonna just take a left turn because that's what you do. It's a busy small road. So like as a bonus, you're busy distracted there. And it's like it's middle of the day and then basically I hit this median and the front of my car just falls off. I have to put it in the back of my car. Luckily, it's just like I don't know if this was planned, but there's a car repair shop right next to this median where you get set up. So these guys they got $100 from me on top, and they got my car off, and then I think I could drive. Luckily, the tires were okay. The face was completely off. And then as like a huge as an extra bonus like as if I'm not having a bad enough day. This is the day that Charlie Kirk is assassinated too. Um, and it's like, I mean, I'm not even like into politics, but when you're already driving all this, you're losing all this on the top, and your car explodes, and then Charlie Kirk dies. I'm just like, yo, is the devil winning? Like, what is going on, man? Did I do something wrong? Like, that's really like how it felt in that little time stretch. And then as of course, I mean, you would think, okay, all that's happening, like let's get some big break. Let's get something huge happening. And I'm playing poker. I'm playing a decent amount of poker at this time. Poker, and then betting on the NBA. And you know, this is how I know I'm cursed, or at least I was cursed, is I only play good hands. Like I only play the best hands in poker. So if I keep losing, it's like how am I losing? I only play aces, kings, ace king. I think the one of the big like if I lose on a straight, it's because the other person had a bigger straight. If I lose on a full house, it's because the other person had a bigger full house. If I lose on a set, they get a straight. Like it was something like that, like again and again and again. And it was just like a couple months of that with the car exploding. Um, and basically, and then the Thursday tournaments. I'll put those all together, and you're just like, I felt like Job from the Bible, if anyone gets that reference too. Um, it's just like everything fell apart at the same time. So, okay, so what did I have to do? I had to take some time off, to take a step back. And that kind of led to the the Fide tournament getting canceled. So, Fide tournament would have been great in December, but the people that I worked with are just very wishy-washy. I'm actually, I'll even give them compliments. I'll say they were really good at what they did. Super, like if they did a good job, but there was communication, but it was also like reliability. Um, so I didn't want to really take a chance. Yeah, imagine like all this is happening, and I'm like, okay, so now what's the next thing should I do? Let me run the biggest tournament, and let's take another huge gamble here. So it was really just like again and again and again things happening, and I just needed to take some time off after all that. So that's what I did. Um, and it's been basically 4 months. So 4 months, and I think this is a good way to segue. Like, what did I accomplish in those 4 months? Timing is pretty good. 9 minutes. Okay, so you get all the backstory of what happened. Um, so I'm in New York. Um, so my parents actually live upstate. So I'm staying there for a bit, and then I start writing this book. So the first idea I had was like I wanted something for all my students for openings. Like instead of everyone has chess-based files, like chess-based files, and what I'm learning is the kids nowadays don't have any chess-based files. I don't even know if they use openings or whatever. I guess they just play a lot of blitz and they create their openings. But this book is just a collection of pictures. So instead of having games um, or like long variations, it's just like per opening, it's pictures of reads or things that happen in the opening. And just what would you do? Just or here's what's the plan here. So I did this. I did this for Stonewall Dutch, and French. This was the first phase because these three openings work really well together. So I created pictures, and then what's something really cool you can do with Google Docs is you can make chapters. So if I make chapters, then it's really easy to organize, and you can see everything really like clearly. Um, so if you want to learn the Stonewall, okay, not only are there review sheets, not only their videos, I also made videos for every single opening too. But also if you go to the book and you go chapter by chapter, you can see, okay, in this place, this is what you do. You make this read, you make this read. It's all about making reads, making instead of memorizing a bunch of variations. So made a book for Stonewall Dutch, French. Then I did all of E4, every variation possible. Anything that you could see with one E4, I did. Then Sicilian, we did Sveshnikov, all of Sveshnikov. We did all of the O'Kelly, or what I like to call the Achilles variation. Um, King's Indian is all there. Stonewall Dutch, like I mentioned, is all there. Um, and then QGD is all there. QGD with some Catalan um, ideas that are a little bit more specific. But yeah, so basically all of the openings, all the material is done. Put all that in the book. Then I took all the puzzles that I've taught, all the chess puzzles I made at schools, all the uh, all the tactics, all the line of fires, put that into a workbook too. So now that's all done. Um, wow, this guy's went crazy. Um, and then I made it basically a workbook. So the idea is like now I can the lessons kind of teach, like I guess you could say they teach themselves, or like I have all this material from all these lessons that I've taught that I don't have to do anything new anymore. I've seen that this works. I've used this over countless years, so all the material is now there for teaching students. The last kind of big step that I will say um, that I did for my students is okay. Now, how do we win winning games? That was also like kind of something that was difficult, even for me too. Like I'll get winning positions, but I'll still lose, which generally you don't want to do. So I analyzed all of Magnus Carlsen's World Rapid and Blitz tournaments, made videos, and also took a lot of pictures of those games and used them as lesson material. And then one more thing on top is now I'm going to start analyzing just the top Grandmaster games. Just I want to see how Grandmasters beat Grandmasters, or how they lose to Grandmasters too. This is also really useful. And after watching Tata Steel and watching this, you will see like these guys make a lot of mistakes. These Grandmasters, like they can play very good, but if they're having a bad day or it's like it's a very tough position, you will 100% see them make like very quote unquote elementary mistakes where you're like, wait, and that's not that hard for me to do. Like I could definitely see myself being able to do this. So having the confidence, not being nervous, not getting tilted or rattled when you're playing high level opposition, and just being like cool, calm, collected is very, very important. So I use a lot of this material for my students and during lessons too. So during lessons, I want a lot of it to be like actual, like we're gonna play, practice, and work on technique instead of just like talk the whole time. So kind of a balance of both. So basically, over the 4 months, I've taken chess analysis and training a lot more serious. And that's I think it's made me enjoy chess a lot too. Just like being good at chess, knowing chess, and that is kind of like the number one thing here. And that's kind of the big takeaway I would say from these 4 months. Like, what do I want to do? Yeah, I do want to teach chess. I do get some enjoyment out of my students winning and doing good, but I need to play tournaments too. Like that's really, really important. Um, and that's why, like, I think for the most part, I will probably till the day I die, I will in some form teach students chess. But I think teaching at schools, I think teaching the after school programs, that's kind of dead and done. Like I think my time there is complete. Like, especially since I like studying chess, I like analyzing high level chess. It hurts watching. I don't know, just watching like adolescent chess or just like I would even say young toddler chess is maybe the way I think about it. Like, and then also like when you're teaching people and you're just like, you know how far they have to go. It's a way to think about it. And you know, like for the most part, like most of those guys will never get there. The students I teach privately or one-on-one, every single one of those guys for the most part, I believe that they can get there. And what I mean that they can get there, they can get somewhere like very proficient, like high level, where even if you're not grandmaster, even if you're not like, let's say even if you're not 2200 national master, like we're speaking the same language, and I can improve from this conversation. Like if I'm teaching an 1800, if we're playing against each other, I can take the worst position and I can still get good training out of it. Like I can still learn something from what we did together. So I think that's also like very, very important. Like yeah, teaching the kid chess, the very amateur chess, the lower level chess, that is probably going to be kind of done for me. But teaching people who know what they're doing is like super, super rewarding. And also people who just can improve. And like once again, taking someone from 500 to 1500 sometimes is more rewarding than taking someone from 2000 to 2200 or 2200 to international master. Like when you take someone from 500 to 1000 to 1500, it's like you're teaching them how to make fire. It's like you're a magician. You're teaching them magic. That's kind of a way I think about it. Um, and it's one of the best feelings on earth, especially when you can do it for someone's kid. Like I guess I use an example. Like I've had a couple students now that they're about to quit. They were like before I started teaching them, they had been playing chess for like a year. They had made no progress. Their parents were like, "Okay, it's time to stop playing. Like, I don't know why you're doing this. You're just wasting your time." And then I start working with them, and then they gain like 1,000 points. This has happened, or at least like 500 points. Like, there's one tournament I took a kid from 700 to 1,200 in one tournament, or two tournaments or something insane. And like when you do that, their parents literally think you're a magician. Like you're legitimately changing people's lives there, and that is definitely a very, very rewarding, cool feeling. Um, so I really do enjoy that, and I think I can do that with all this information and knowledge that I have. And now it's kind of a challenge where it's like, okay, let's see how fast I can do it. Because I've done it before when I didn't have that much material. Now I just have more material, more refined material. But I will say finding that balance is a little bit tricky. But with all the material there, you can move very, very fast. And that is kind of the job as a coach, to cut the learning curve. Um, and I think I can do that very, very well with the material that I have. Okay, so that's what I've been doing. Okay, so a couple of things I would say that I watched so much poker. Oh my God. I'm not gonna say I'm an expert or anything, but I kind of know a decent amount now. I will say I watch like there's a show called The Big Game. Oh man, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 seasons. I've watched every single episode. Then they have Big Game on the Road. I watched every single episode. They were like the first 3 months, and the first couple months I was playing. I think the first 2 months off, I was playing a decent amount too. Of course, once again, just bad beats, just like what's going on? How do I lose this? It should be impossible, but clearly it's not impossible because I'm seeing what's happening. And um, but yeah, I watched every single episode, so I would say at least knowledge and theory wise, I know some. I know a little something right now. Um, okay, so there's that. Okay, so let me go to chess students, and then actually I will come back around for life and stuff, and I'll talk about the other stuff that I've been doing. Okay, so definitely one other thing I've been doing is talking really fast. Um, because I've been making a lot of YouTube videos, and once, like I said, really cool analyzing the top level games. You learn a lot. You see some really cool games too. Like one cool thing about analyzing top level games is sometimes you see games where you're like, yo, I could do that. Like, or how did he miss that? That guy's not even good. And sometimes you see games where you're like, okay, that's the difference. That's why I'm here and they're there. That is the difference between me and him. I can see it now. Um, so watching high level chess is good for both. Definitely, I will say that. Um, but yeah, as far as chess training goes, I think I've pretty much covered all the training. Puzzles, I haven't really done any puzzles. I've really taken time off of puzzles, and the only time that puzzle you see the difference is when you're rushing. If I know that this is a very critical position and I have to calculate, I'll find any move. Puzzles will help you find things even when you're not even looking. I would say that's the difference with puzzles. Um, Now, okay, so chess students. So chess students, some of these guys. are not, they don't play chess the same way I do, but I can still help them. Like, that's something that I've learned a lot recently. Good chess is good chess. And I guess something I'll say is a lot of times I wasn't playing, I'm not gonna say good chess, but the way Magnus Carlsen plays is very, very different from the way like I was playing my whole life. I've analyzed 40 of his games, and the way he plays is like he's never there's no tactics. I analyzed 40 of his games. There might have been three tactics to win a pawn. There's like one checkmate, and it's because the guy like blundered into it. The guy ended up walking his king across the middle, and Magnus checkmated. There were literally two games with that. Every other game is uh just a grindy end game, or like just a strategic war. It really feels like real life war is the best way to put it. He's finding, okay, where's the battlefield? I must win the battlefield. I'm gonna surround my opponents. Like if Magnus Carlsen was an army general, oh my God, the things that he could do. Um, I will say this every once in a while when he does lose, it's because he feels invincible and he gets humbled. That's the one kind of thing that you see. But using all this to help my students, it makes lessons go by very fast, and it almost makes me like want to have more time. Because every lesson, okay, here's another big thing that I will say that I've added is a spreadsheet analyzing all my games, all my blitz games, 3+2 games. Now, I did fall into this 3-0 addiction a little bit recently, but every 3+2 game after I play, I will analyze it. I will put down the opening, I'll put down the notes. So when I'm training, that is the right way to do it. Take your time, analyze each game, and learn from each game. And then I've had my students do this too. So before class, they have to have played 7 games and analyzed it on the spreadsheet, and done all that kind of stuff. So analysis, I think, is really, really important, and it's been paying off for a lot of my students. All these guys are right now, they're doing really, really, really well. They're all at their peaks. Um, yeah, one girl has gained, I think, 300 points in like 3 months or something, like absolutely nuts. And the crazy part is she hasn't even been playing that well. Like that's kind of the last takeaway. I told her, like, imagine if you played well, like how well these games could go. Imagine. Um, and it's really just technique, and they all know their opening. And that's a secret. None of them really. They all have the opening kind of like material and stuff, but that is one of the hardest things with students. Is like if they just lose out of the opening, and I taught them the opening and they played it wrong. It's kind of like it's on you. It's kind of on me because I didn't. I guess I didn't teach you enough for you to know. Um, but I did teach you, and you have the material. You should know it. So that's the one thing. So with all the material out there, they 100% can at least like they can always look at stuff. They can always review stuff. Um, but that is I would say the hardest thing because I mean the theory is very precise. You need to know a lot. Um, there's a lot to know. But with the book, and I also think about this. Imagine if I had myself as a teacher. Imagine if someone gave me all the prep because I used to study them by myself and just like click around and try to figure out, okay, if they do this, what do I do? Um, But basically, I did this for all my students. I gave them, okay, if they do this, you're good. Just do this for everything. That's kind of the dream as a chess player. Um, so my students do have that, and I will say, January there's a little bit of a lull, but I think with tournament season, hopefully it should pick up soon. And then the more they play, just for all of them, the more they play, the better they do. This is why I always tell all my students, please play. You're training, you know what you're doing, you analyze your games, you know your openings. Like you will all do well in tournaments. Um, okay, so anything else for my students? Okay, a lot of last thing I would say for my students is a big thing that we do is we try to just break down chess positions. Like I will give them a position and I will say, okay, based off the material, based off what's going on, um, what do you think about the position? So some common themes that I will say when I see this, when I do this activity is people don't notice the bishop pair. If you have the bishop pair and your opponent doesn't, you want to open up the position. Your strong bishop is the bishop they don't have, and you want to play on those color squares. A lot of my like when you look at a position and you break it down, if you can look at the minor pieces, they will tell you things. Like I tell my student this, like the pieces will tell you what to do. The position will play itself, and he always jokes that I'm crazy and the pieces are talking to me. But there's a lot of positions. Like once you hit the wave, once you hit the flow, the position will play itself. Magnus does this really well. Once there's a weakness, okay, now I just attack the weakness, break the weakness. Okay, I won the weakness, then I just win another pawn wherever the next weakness is. Boom, opponent resigns. Didn't do anything. You just followed the principal ideas. Now as the opponents get better and the resistance gets more, okay, then we have to start making tougher decisions. But and I tell this to all my students, chess is not hard. Chess is easy. We just make it hard by trying to do too much or not following what the pieces are telling us. So just analyzing positions and breaking it down has been pretty good for a lot of my students. On top of working hard and doing their homework. Those also matter, I would say. Um, okay, so as far as chess students go, I think that is it. Finished chess training. Okay, life. So the other kind of just small things on the side that okay, so small things on the side, and then where do we go from here? That's probably the other thing to the other two things to go through. Okay, so I've gotten really good at pickleball. Pickleball is really fun. Pickleball and ping pong. I've gotten exceptionally good at both of those. Um, whenever like I take these big times off, like these big gaps in like chess or whatever, oftentimes there will be some kind of side hobby that I find. Just to like keep your mind active, keep your mind busy, but also to improve at things. I always like just always love like getting better at things and improving. So pickleball has been one of them, and ping pong. Definitely want to not compete, but I'm always down to play. Poker, at least knowledge is better. I have taken a big break. And then basketball. I play basketball once a week. Yeah. Once a week, and uh, there's been off days, but now that the rhythm is there, it feels good to be good at basketball again. And one thing I will say is all the best times in my life, generally I'm playing basketball. I don't know, like even like when I was a kid and my dad used to take me to tournaments, if I was ever having like a bad day or a bad tournament, one thing my dad would do is we would find a basketball court and I would just go shoot a basketball. And if I got to play some games, even better, that was a bonus. But if I could play basketball, that would always like kind of be my get back to normal. So that's one of those things that I could do forever. Like there's a fighter called Yuri Prohaska, and I mean, basically a little weird, definitely a little autistic, but basically he has a quote where he threw a 1-2 for 24 hours in a row. And like shooting a basketball is one of those things that I can do. I could just shoot a basketball for like an hour, 2 hours in a row every day. Like that's easy. I enjoy doing that. I want to do that. I feel like I get better, and I just feel more focused and more relaxed when I do that too. Um, and then movies. Um, so one, there's this anime called Berserk that's absolutely nuts. If you're young, do not read it. If you're old enough, you can read it. Um, and then all of the movies that I've been watching recently too. I think the Greenland. I watched the Hundred Mile Walk, or I don't know what the title is, but the movie's about that. Every movie is coming down to like, is the journey worth it? Is it worth making this long journey? Because you kind of lose yourself while you're doing the journey. That is a very common thing that um, a lot of people kind of have a problem with. And I mean that's kind of a question that I ask myself too with chess and trying to make GM. Is the journey worth it? And the moral of the movies is it's worth it if you do not sell your soul to the devil. Once you sell your soul to the devil, then it's not worth it. Like you get whatever goal you're trying to accomplish, and ironically, like the Epstein files or some Epstein files just released. I have no idea about politics or anything. Um, and I think also this guy got shot, Alex Preddy. I've heard about this too. Um, and I think the common theme that we see in all these are someone is really taking advantage of someone else. That is happening again and again and again. And whenever that happens, it's not worth it. But if there's okay, I think that this actually there's this musical artist named Jelly Roll, and he just won a Grammy, and he did the exact opposite. He said, "Thank you, Jesus." And a lot of these guys, even fighters that I watch, the ones that you want to kind of root for are the ones that say thank you, the ones that are like, "God gave me a second chance. I got a second chance. Like I turned my life around." While the guys who are just like surrounded in turmoil is maybe the best way to put it. Things are always a problem. Everything's always a problem. It goes from bad to worse. Um, those are the people where you don't want that. You don't want to end that way. You want to end like the hero or just like the happy person, which is kind of a basic way to think about it. But yeah, if you gotta keep stepping over people, if you gotta keep like doing the wrong thing to get the right results, generally the end is never the ending kind of sucks. The ending has been bad for all those guys, but the ending for the guys who sacrifice for others, who live a good life, who do good things, that's the ending where it's like, look, that's all we ever wanted. I didn't have to make $1 billion, didn't have to own the world, but to be remembered as a hero, remembered as a good person. That's uh, that's the goal. So if we can achieve our goals without selling our soul to the devil, then we should do it. That is the right thing to do. But if you're gonna sell your soul, you're gonna do whatever it takes, and that means hurting people, stepping over people. Um, that ending is not gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a tough ending. So really, just try to be happy, try to enjoy people's company. I think that's kind of the way to look at it. So is a sacrifice worth the reward? Yes, if it's not a sacrifice of others. It's a sacrifice of honestly like you can sacrifice the vices. You can sacrifice the bad things in your life, then it's worth it. If you got to sacrifice the good things in your life to get what you want, then it is not worth it. So that I think is the takeaway. So where do we go from here with WCC 7? What do we do after this? I don't know. I think right now the goal is to run a really good tournament. So right now there's about 39 entries. Um, Scholastic, I did get to partner up with someone. So, and they're not white. Partners that's that one from a different country. But some of the best business partners, I guess some of the worst. I mean, it's you don't really know. But partnering up with someone will help, especially if they can kind of do their own thing. They're not asking for anything, and it's just like let's see where this goes. But yeah, just running a really good tournament. Hopefully I can get 70 people. Or if you combine the Scholastic, hopefully you can get like 30 and 60. So 90 people. 90 people would be fantastic. That would be the goal. It's going to be hard for me not to run tournaments in Georgia just because I know so many people. Does still feel like kind of my community. Um, and I will always have students in Georgia. I mean, I guess that as long as I still have tournament students in Georgia, there will be some kind of form of me running events because my students are good. I'm proud of my guys. I want them to play. They all have great reason to play because they're all very good and they do well. Um, so uh, yeah, so they just run as good a tournament possible. I do want to run Fide. I want to make chess fun too. I want to make it fun. I want people to have a chance to compete too. So kind of a lot of little things, and we will see where this goes. But right now, there's only one thing I know, and that's to run this tournament and to do a good job. Um, and it's all the little things, like all the prizes paid instantly with cash. Um, the Blitz tournament is during the tournament, so we can finish everything fast, efficiently, not rushed. Do a good job, take pictures, promote it, do everything that you're supposed to do. So that's what I'm trying to do with this tournament, and that's what we'll see. Um, hopefully the next podcast is not 5 months from now. Hopefully we got some good news too. Everything seems like on the edge of good news. Would love to start having it. I mean, all the work has been done. The tournaments will begin to be played. The kings will fall, the kings will rise, and hopefully we'll be on top. So that's it for this one. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Okay, so here are just some small things that I think I want to talk about, but I forgot to, and I can still add them in. So first thing that I want to address, I don't actually think I talk that fast. I think for old people I talk kind of fast. but I think for normal people, I don't talk that fast. I don't know. Well, I guess someone tell me if I talk fast or not. That'll be good to know. Um, okay, but all jokes aside, okay, so I did stream for a bit. Um, Streaming is great. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind with streaming is you think you would make a lot of money, right? Like you hear Hikaru makes millions. Um, but you only make a lot of money in streaming if you are really big. And building it up is actually not that easy. Um, so after about 50 hours of streaming, I think I have some numbers like that. Made $10. And you would think it's like OnlyFans where like I said, like some people make millions of dollars like Hikaru, but if you're not those people, you don't really make kind of anything. And then it's just like, did I just give away all my preparation and my openings for free? One cool thing is you definitely clip up a lot and make some cool videos. Something I noticed is I be mumbling when I stream, so I definitely want to fix that. Like a lot of like, like, and then the look you have, it's some things to work on is the best way to put it. So that will definitely be worked on, I will say. Um, but yeah, also investing that many hours, I can just play Blitz and analyze. I don't have to do it for $10. And for the questions and the comments, like that is one thing. Another thing I would say, okay, so teaching in New York, like I was really, really close to teaching at a school, a big school. Even got I guess an offer letter. But I really want to compete. That's the big thing. I don't know if I can wake up at 8 a.m. every day because the schools here are pretty serious with what they ask for. So right now, kind of the focus I would say is playing, competing. Um, because I mean, we studied, we wrote a book, we did all this. Hopefully now it is time to cash in that reward and start playing and get get some titles. So that's what I really want to do. Did a lot of streaming. Let's see anything else? Oh yeah, I think kind of the future of Georgia. I mean, I said don't sacrifice, just do your best. Um, and try to run good tournaments. I definitely want to get Fide and then Rapid and Blitz. After watching the World Rapid and Blitz and seeing Magnus play and also the games are a lot more fun. They're not as crazy and stressful and even like the kids aren't playing for a draw anymore. They're just trying to play instead of being annoying. So yeah, so I would say those are little things. Streaming, teaching in New York, and trying to just compete and play in tournaments is now the new goal. And ping pong, yeah, ping pong got good. Biking, oh yeah, biking. Okay, another big thing is I lost like 20 pounds. I lost like 30 pounds. Definitely at the end of my time in Georgia, I had gotten up to 180 pounds. I was fat. I had a stomach. Oh my God. And it's just hard when you're doing everything and you're sad and you have all this going on to also just work out. And also the weather. When the weather is bad, you can't run. Running is my number one way to work out and to lose weight. If I can run, I will be skinny. If I cannot run, then I will probably get fat. And definitely over the winter, my best friend has been this stationary bike. I can bike while watching TV. I can bike while doing kind of everything. And that's been a real big cheat code to losing weight. Like I even tried playing chess and biking. If it's possible. If it depends on the type control you're playing, but you can definitely do both. No, here's another thing that I will say. This will be my last winter living anywhere that gets below 40 degrees. I am never getting below 40 degrees again in my life. This is insane. It is inhuman what I have to go through. I don't understand how people did it back in the day. I'm going to live in a desert. I was made to live in a desert. I don't care if there's scorpions, if there's snakes. Ironically, it's probably be my doing. But I'm going to live somewhere where there's warm. I can't do this anymore. The cold is too cold, and you don't have to do this. I always joked in Game of Thrones, like people in the north, you don't have to do it. You don't have to live there. Just move, get out of there. And I'm literally doing that. I'm in that right now. I don't have to live here. I could just get out of here. Um, so, and then Georgia is too cold. Georgia is too cold. I've spent enough some winters in Georgia. I know okay, sometimes it's not that bad, but Georgia is too cold. It's not funny. Florida, Arizona, Texas, Colombia. I'll never live in India, but I might spend my winter in India. These are the short list for places that are that are warm enough for me. Um, yeah, so I think that's, I would say, the big takeaways. Losing weight, getting back in shape, working out, um, streaming, teaching, all these different things. Okay, so anyway, after that, y'all can go back. And I don't talk that fast. I don't think. You guys tell me. But those are the amendments that I will have to the podcast.